All right, we're going to do just a quick review of some Apple Watch bands and my little journey that I've gone through in determining which one I really wanted to use with my Apple Watch and why. So I'm going to turn up the brightness here, see if I can get this to affect this to make it look more true to life. That's pretty good right there. So obviously, there's a lot of options when it comes to the Apple Watches, and bands are one of those. So the thought process I had when I was going through this is you want it to stay on, right? You have this nice watch that's fairly expensive and you want it to stay on your wrist. You don't want it to fall off. So, with that being said, I went through the process of thinking, oh man, I really like the idea of it being magnetic. So it's easy to remove, but it still stays in place. But then you'll see people say that they've had issues with it falling off, right? So then you got to look back at some of these other options. I mean, because with an Apple Watch, you're probably not thinking contemporary style bands, but maybe we should, right? Because these are expensive pieces of technology as well as a timepiece that we want to make sure work and we are able to enjoy for a long time. So where I started with this was I looked at some of the magnetic bands and I don't know, it wasn't for me. So then I had to take a look at, do I want to spend the Apple tax and get into a band from Apple? And initially my answer was no. And I started out with this Amband. It was off Amazon. And it's decent. It is bulky as heck. Like, if I place this on my arm, that is just it's huge. Now, it's cool, and my initial thought process was I wanted it to be something that would be similar to the old Casio G-Shock in the appearance, and I'd say it achieves that. Well, the next one, I also decided I like the Alpine loop styles that they sell with Apple products, but I didn't want to pay the Apple tax, like you say, right? So I got this other one that was black with dots, and it turned out that it was sparkly, glittery, so it wasn't for me. And that's when we come to the Spigen, or Spigen, however you want to say it. And this one I really, really like. This is probably one of my favorites. And it's so easy to take off and remove, and it stays on. You don't have the risk of it just falling off. And it has little nubs there so it doesn't just slip off. So you can grab it, throw it on, tighten it up, loosen it up at will. 'Cause sometimes I like it to be a little further up my wrist, and sometimes I like it to be a little further down my wrist, but I don't want it to slide off or be actuated when I bend my wrist, right? And it's nice on the fly. But the Black Ocean band from Apple, I really do enjoy as well. It's definitely more durable. You can clean it easy. It's heavy duty. It's hefty. I don't have to worry about fabric fraying. I don't have to worry about pieces sliding apart, right? Um, it could be bumped or this could get filthy. For example, I have this other one, and I don't know if the video can pick this up, but this is a similar idea where it's got the Velcro and it just starts to look disgusting. And as nice of a band as it maybe once was, it starts to look just not as nice as an Apple product should look when being displayed. So I'm really curious if there's bands out there that you use. Do you go for lightweight? Do you go for hefty? Do you go for ease of use? Like this one, like the Spigen. Um, I would say my two go-to at this point are these two. The Black Ocean band and the Spigen, I guess they call it the durapro Flex. Both for different reasons. If I'm going to be on the go, and I don't want to have to worry about it getting dirty. I want it to be easily cleaned. I would probably take this one with me for day to day where I've already showered and I'm cleaned up and I want to look presentable and have the ease of taking it off and maybe charging it on the go. I'd put this one back on, right? So, yeah, point it out. Let me know in the comments which ones you find to be most useful and why you chose that. I'm just really curious because in the search for an Apple band, there are hundreds of options, as I'm sure you're well aware of, because I sure have stumbled across just dozens. That being said, I am going to throw one last thing in here. I did order from Bandify a different kind of faceplate, right? And I didn't realize that it has a built-in screen protector. Now, granted, I have a screen protector on here that if you can see it on camera, it's got a little bubble in the corner, so I will replace it at some point. But I don't know if I like the screen protector being built into my cover because I want to be able to change stuff out and I don't want to have to rip it off if I want to do that. I mean, it's nice. Like I could still kind of finagle this on here. Let's see if I can get this to go on here. I could finagle that on there with my screen protector that I already have and just, you know, it would be fine. But that's not the idea. That's not what it's for. And I wouldn't really wear that, but it gives you an idea that it does look good. It does seem like it would protect. They send little wipes to be able to clean the surface up, but I don't want it on there all the time. So if anybody knows of brands that are super clean, super thin, that maybe have a nice bezel or bevel around the edge that's raised, that you can still have your uh, standard screen protector on, let me know. I would love to see that, love to try that out. If you have a band, say you're a company or you know of a company that thinks they have a band that I might like better than these two, let me know. I am always up for trying stuff, testing it, and seeing what I think. These definitely have their place. This is quick, it's easy. It has a lot of adjustable points. This one is very durable. If I'm going to be on the go and I'm working in an environment where things are going to be tough and tossed around, this would be a go-to. This one does have an open top, so my already existing screen cover isn't affected. I can just throw this on if I want to wear it as an alternative, just like I can throw on any of those other bands. But I can't use this if I plan on switching those things out because like I can't use this with this. And I can't use this if I want to change out many of the options. Now, it doesn't in this case block me from putting the bands on once the cover's on, which is nice. Which so many of them you have to put the cover on and then put the band on, which can be frustrating. So once again, in closing, just want to say if you or anybody you know or a company that you know of has a band or even a cover like I've described that you think I would like better, show me, prove it, let me know. Love to test it. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you'll enjoy this. And I will try my best more and more to add stuff to the comments, to create things where you can click links. This is a growing channel. Things are still being tested day to day, and we would like to have you grow with us. So please continue to tune in, like, and subscribe, and let us know what you want to see more of. Thank you.